Evening, everyone. I wanted to do a real quick review tonight on another one of my figures in my collection. Since my wife especially, she's a die-hard Trekkie.
Woo!
I was walking through Walgreens and I did check out their toy section because occasionally they do have some pretty good stuff. They do have a pretty good selection. But I found a Star Trek figure there that I was just like, oh, I definitely got to get this for my wife. So it is, and I didn't know this until I got home and looked at it a little bit closer, that it's actually a Todd McFarlane, Todd McFarlane Toys, Spawn and some other things right now, figure. And as you can see, it's from Wave 1, Star Trek, James T. Kirk, the original captain. I went out and got this for her. And so Wave 2 is coming out with that girl from Discovery and then Mr. Spock. And Wave 1 consists of Captain Jean-Luc Picard and James T. Kirk. And actually, I wound up finding at another Walgreens much later Captain Jean-Luc Picard. I did wind up later on finding a James T. Kirk for me, so that's the one I'm going to be reviewing. If I ever find another Picard, I will review that. But for now, these are my wife's, so I can't crack them open. But I can at least show you. I'll show you. Whoops, knocked something over. What they come with. So Picard comes with phaser, a little flute, and a stand, and then an extra hand. I believe this is the Make It So hand. But I don't truly care for the facial sculpt. As you can see, comparing the face to the one here, it really it doesn't look like Picard to me. But it is what it is. The Kirk, on the other hand, I have to say the facial sculpt on this one is a lot better. It looks closer to William Shatner as Kirk. It does come with a communicator, an extra right hand for holding the phaser rifle, and then there's the phaser, and another stand. Okay, so I do have the cracked open Picard, and here he is on his stand. Well, we'll take a look at accessories first. So there's the stand, typical McFarlane black round stand that comes with a lot of their figures that they're bringing out right now. I do have a few of the figures from McFarlane right now. And they all come with pretty much the same stand. They'll just have something written on them different. So, for instance, I have a couple of the Doom ones, so it just has Doom written on it. But I believe it's in white. Whereas this is just kind of glossy black and then just matte black. Has a peg for the figure to stand. So, nothing really interesting here. Again, here's the phaser. Pretty nice sculpt on the phaser, to say. The right hand and the phaser rifle. Ignore this wiring. I put that on myself so he could actually hold all, it could be a shoulder strap and you can just hold all the accessories all at once. As you can see, it's got a pretty nice sculpt to it and coloring, and for whatever reason this piece comes out. It doesn't stay in very well on mine, which is funny because it's a pain to get back in there, but once it's in there it tends to fall out. Sometimes it's not doing it right now, luckily. So check out the hand. I can grip this. Yeah, these hands come very tight right out of the box, but as you can see, that right hand grips it pretty well, and this is not going anywhere. So, and then last but not least, the communicator, which does not fold, so don't try it, you'll break it. But nice little communicator, got the little paint detail and everything, and I like the, there's some texture there. Pretty nice. So, on to the figure. So I'm going to tell you the issue I have with this figure right off the bat. There aren't many issues I do have with this figure. To be honest, I really like it. But if you can see all that gunk around his right wrist. That's because when I got this out of the box, so I wanted to actually switch the hand to see him holding the phaser rifle. Well, so it's supposed to be made to just pull off, like so many other figures nowadays. But when I pulled it off, I wound up breaking the little piece that comes with it, and it's a very small little nub or peg. It just snapped off, just like that. And it wasn't like I was struggling or twisting all over. It was just pull, snap. It just basically was more of a ripped it off. So McFarlane, get working on that. That definitely lowers this, because it could have almost been a perfect figure, in my opinion. Well, another problem I have with it is the waist. There is no real waist swivel. Like, you could see him moving slightly, but there's no waist swivel. I think it's not a deal breaker, but it really could use that. Picard, on the other hand, I could be wrong, but if you see right there, you see that line, it looks like he has a waist swivel. So certainly adds to the articulation. Other than that, really, it's good. His left hand actually can hold the phaser rifle, so even though it doesn't hold it as firmly as the right hand will, you can actually still pose him with it in the left hand, and it will still work. So that's a plus. To be honest, if he only just came with the regular phaser and the communicator, I would be just perfectly happy that way. I'm glad he comes with an extra accessory, but to be honest, if it just came with that stuff, I'd be perfectly fine. I'd have no problem. So again, looking at the face, that's a pretty good likeness of William Shatner back then. It's not bad sculpt. There's some nice texturing on the shirt, the uniform. There's the Starfleet emblem. Pants, got the glossy paint for the boots. Overall, it's really... Why do I like this figure so much? The sculpt. I think it's just a really good sculpt. McFarlane's really good about sculpting their figures. May not be good about some other things, but they are pretty good about that. So it's a great looking figure. And it does have some really good articulation overall. So going into the articulation, so the head, it's not so great here. The head can look up slightly down, not really much. You can twist all the way around. I'm not sure if it's on a ball joint. I guess it is, but it's very limited in the movement. The arms come out about that far. Can go all the way around. bend at an elbow. So, I mean, the right arm bends a little bit more towards 90 degrees. Left arm, not so much. But there is a pivot also at, a swivel also at the elbow. The wrist can turn all the way around. It's supposed to have an actual pivot there to where it can go back and forth, but it really doesn't work very well. There's so much skin there from the hand and the sleeve, and so it really doesn't work very well. So that's some points taken off there. And of course on this one, I've lost all articulation in the wrist, but if that's all I've lost, that's okay. That's really all I've lost, because again, the rifle can still fit in his left hand. Even though I don't pose him with the rifle in the hand at all. So the waist, like I said, and there's that slight swivel that really doesn't do anything. Again, it's kind of like with the hand, going back and forth, up and down, whatever, it doesn't work very well. The legs here, which is pretty cool. So he can actually do a full-on split. Not that I've ever seen Captain Kirk do a split, but he can. Legs can go forward like that. Can go pretty far back. The knees bend pretty good. Not too bad. And there is a swivel at the knee. So, got that. And then at the boot, you do have an ankle rocker. As far as going side to side, not really. I mean, a little bit, but not too much. And then the peg hole for the peg. So, overall, I mean, that's some pretty good articulation. And again, I really like the sculpt. So, would I recommend this? Yes, I would. Even for that. I am actually still on the lookout for another one. And I'm hoping that I can find another one that will be a little bit more, cooperative in switching hands. And then what I'll do is just I'll put this hand on that one and have it posed with the rifle. That way I can have him just with the regular phaser and the communicator, and then that other one with the rifle. And there you go. So overall, yeah, I do recommend it. For $20, I think you're getting a pretty good figure here, especially for you Trekkies out there. It's really good. So I like it, even though, again, that problem there, but other than that, it really, I've glued it on, and it's on there sturdy, and it just, it's pretty good. So I will get you seeing how he looks with some of the accessories.
Look at her.
All right, here he is with the phaser and communicator. And again, let's put the rifle back in his hand. Didn't quite get that. Yeah, this thing gets in the way sometimes. But there he goes, guns blazing. Like I normally do. Oops, see? Thing fell out again. There we go. And on the stand. Oops. So, not bad. All right, well, until next time, y'all have yourselves a wonderful evening, and God bless.